Our vision for this project is breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and to get students ready for the day ahead, a breakfast club will be established so that all students are able to achieve their personal best. This will be achieved by changing the start time of classes to 9:20 to encourage students to attend school regularly. During this presentation, we'll explain why we think the project will be effective in improving attendance with students, especially those in Year 7 who are transitioning from primary school setting to the high school environment. Currently, Ayres High School has 410 students enrolled. The school has quite a large population of ESL students, accounting for almost half of the school's population, with another 20% coming from an Indigenous background. Ayres High School is considered to be in a low SES area, with their index of community social education advantage score being well below the average. This justifies why our group is focusing on those students who are from a low SES background. Attendance rates at Ayres High School are also below the state's average. Year 7 students in particular are sitting at 90% attendance for 2016, whereas the state average was 92.8%. Our project aims to change the start time of period 1 to 9:20 and commence a breakfast club program at 8:40 a.m. as a way to encourage students to come to school and enjoy a free breakfast. The reason we chose to implement a breakfast club before school was because of the alarming rate of students who would skip breakfast and how important breakfast is to cognitive function. After eating breakfast, Cooper et al. Found that students' mood can increase, which may lead to enhanced learning during the day. Students have self-reported that they have more energy and are less tired during the day if they have breakfast in the morning. So why are we focusing on adolescents? During puberty, adolescents go through significant changes not only to their body but also their cognitive function and require more nutrients to develop these areas, something that is often lacking when breakfast is skipped. A similar study of Breakfast Club was conducted, and they found students who participated showed improvements in not only standardised testing scores but also improved their attendance rates. There are numerous reasons as to why students skip school, and even more reasons as why students from low SES backgrounds skip school. Reasons range from not having the organisational skills to get themselves into a daily routine to parents having non-conventional jobs and having to walk themselves to school in dangerous neighbourhoods.
As mentioned earlier, the average attendance rates over the last 3 years at Ayres High School was 83% overall, 78% for Indigenous students and 84% for non-Indigenous students. In 2013, Year 7 attendance was at 88.3% and grew to 90% in 2016. However, the state average was 92.8% for Year 7 attendance. So where do we want to be? So looking at these figures, as a group, the ideal outcome of implementing the Breakfast Club would be to see an increase in Year 7 attendance rates. Ideally, we would like to see Year 7 Ayres High School students reach the state average for that year and or 93% attendance. As a result of implementing the Breakfast Club, we would like to see an improvement in results as a result of increased attendance and engagement. Research suggests that eating breakfast has a positive effect on learning in terms of behaviour, cognitive and school performance. Evidence suggests that habitual breakfast and school breakfast programs have a positive effect on students' academic performances. Findings revealed that students who had breakfast regularly have significant higher full-scale verbal and performance IQ test scores compared to children who rarely have breakfast. Breakfast means break the fast, as a previous meal is typically 8 to 10 hours before waking up. Breakfast is important as it refills the body with energy and nutrients. If breakfast is missed, it can result in feeling lethargic and tired, which may lead to difficulty concentrating and behaviour difficulties at school. Students who consume breakfast can concentrate better and have a longer attention span, thus leading to better learning and study. Students who consume breakfast perform better physically, as there is more energy available to their muscles. Overall, breakfast improves behaviour as it provides students with better concentration and reduces tiredness and hunger. As the research is suggesting, eating breakfast on a regular basis can impact students' learning and engagement at school. Hence, the Breakfast Club was developed and will be implemented to not only increase student attendance, but to increase student engagement and results.
To achieve our overarching goal of improving the attendance rates and personal and social capabilities of Year 7 students, we have sequenced our program over 10 weeks. During week 1, our group will identify newly enrolled Year 7 students at risk for non-attendance. Data will be collected from the feeder schools surrounding Ayres High School, which includes John Warby, Bradbury and Briar Road Public Schools. At-risk students have initially been chosen for this pilot study to ascertain the efficacy of this program. Once the at-risk students have been identified for non-attendance, our group will seek permission from both the parents and students to participate in the program. Senior students will be chosen to participate in the program to act as buddy mentors for Year 7 students. Teachers and parents with the Working with Children check will also be invited to volunteer for this program to consolidate community relationships and ties. All this will be completed by the end of week 1. During week 2, our group aims to explain the program in depth to all members. Our team will explain that this is a self-funded pilot program and that a small weekly contribution of $5 will help provide a healthy range of food options for students. All participating members will be properly trained in OH&S policies and anaphylaxis for reasons of health and safety. Food will be prepared in the school's hospitality rooms and coordinated by TAS staff members. Additionally, during the second week of the program, Year 7 students will be administered with the first survey of the program so that our group can assess their likability of the program. Scanlon found that when you consider students' perspectives, this could help students buy into programs at a later date. All senior students, parents and staff members will be trained in the necessary skills, policies and protocols of the program. PowerPoint and explicit instruction will be utilised to train all participating members. A colour-coded chart will be given to each member outlining roles and responsibilities during the program, and each member will also receive a rotating roster. There will be 2 project managers responsible for overseeing and coordinating the program over the course of its duration. The rotating roster will ensure every member is contributing equally. This will conclude the second week of the program. The program will commence at the start of week 3. An instructional sheet detailing the duties and requirements of participating members will be provided with each rotating roster. Teachers and parents who have their Working with Children check number will be responsible for setting up the breakfast club every morning, with additional support from senior students. Senior students will help Year 7s build on their communication skills, time management skills, and study skills during these meetings. Teachers will act as the facilitators of this process. At the midpoint of the program, teachers will administer the second survey to Year 7 students. During the 10th and final week of the program, Year 7 students will complete the final survey. Data will be collated to ascertain the efficacy of the program by both our team and the project managers. Data will be collected from the surveys, student and teacher journals, and the attendance register of Ayres High School. A final debriefing session at the end of the week will take place with senior students and staff members to discuss the strengths, weaknesses of the program and to make any recommendations for the future. Year 7 students will also be debriefed on a separate occasion and be thanked for their contribution to the program.
How do we know we have arrived? To address the idea of assessing the success of the Breakfast Club program, each of the Year 7 students will be asked to complete a survey and student feedback form to help the school gain an understanding of the students' thoughts surrounding the program. The surveys will target the effectiveness of the club from a student perspective in relation to their focus during class and if the students' values of school in regards to attendance have changed since the beginning of the program. In addition to the student-based survey, a number of students who have been selected and identified as high risk for attendance will be selected to interview one-on-one with a member of the executive to gain a more in-depth analysis of the effects the program has had on the students. The school will also put in a survey to the teachers to gain understanding of the students' attendance, behaviour and engagement has changed since the beginning of the program. This will take a look at the negatives and positives of the results of the class within the classroom. Furthermore, from the surveys and interviews, data will be collected and analysed of the attendance rates of Year 7 students, as well as collection of their logbooks throughout their program. This data will be analysed and presented in graphs and compared to data from prior to the program, as well as compared to national averages in attendance of Australia. This data would prove the most effective in assessing the true results of whether the program has improved a student's attendance. By assessing this data in the protocols mentioned, it will allow the school to make an accurate assessment of the impacts the initiative is having on the students directly and how the program can be developed further for these students, as well as integrating to a whole school approach.
Ongoing improvements. By implementing this project, we are not only aiming to improve attendance rates, we are also striving to improve school culture in a number of ways. We hope to improve the school's connectedness with the students and teachers and the values held by the staff and the students. By introducing a breakfast club, We are anticipating a wholesome environment with the overarching focus on increased student attendance. Encouraging students to be at school on time by providing breakfast will create a positive social and cultural setting for students to interact with their peers and in turn create a supportive environment. Improving school culture by including the seniors and juniors will aim to improve seniors' leadership skills, but also so that students develop a sense of belonging, feel valued and respected by their peers. Including members from the community and parents and carers should create a positive school climate by bringing the people together. Depending on the success of our program, our group will aim to maintain the relationship between staff and community members in the future. This relationship can be used to then help organise future events within the school, such as fetes, carnivals, and fundraisers. This can also be used to fund our Breakfast Club program. To gain feedback on the ways in which our project impacts the students, we've introduced summative surveys, interviews, observations, and staff meetings. We will then use the responses provided by students, staff, and community members, as well as the data we collect to better our project and maximise results for students in the future. The changes we make will be based on students' perspectives and feedback towards the project and their overall experience. By knowing what worked well and what areas we need to improve on using the collected data, it will help the development and implementation of new and innovative ways to maintain a consistent, safe, positive and supportive culture within the school environment.